This picture and these champions are why we are here for our first ever Zwift Criterium. We're going to be joined by Victor Campenaerts, the world hour record holder, Giro d'Italia stage winner, and stage 18 winner at this Tour de France. How sweet it is to also be joined by a man who has come so close to winning a Tour stage. His day will come, but he's already won a stage at the Dauphiné Libre. He's been in the leader's jersey there, and he's won the silver medal at the World Time Trial Championships. These two gladiators of the Tour are joining us from their homes. You can see that virtually we're in France. It is an honor and a pleasure. Victor, I'm going to throw it down to you to start with. Congratulations. This must have been an absolutely bananas week for you, my friend. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Indeed, this has been crazy. I just became a dad right before the Tour de France. Actually, my girlfriend is also in this Zwift ride right next to me. You don't see her on the camera. And our son is also in this room. We hope he keeps quiet. If you hear a small scream, that's him.
So your roommate, longtime friend, how great is it to have Brent back with you? You've got an awesome sidekick there. So Brent, it was really nice to learn more about you during this Tour de France as well. So your friend Victor had quite a day there at stage 18. Looking at that photograph of you two after the stage, the memories must just be incredible for you.
Yeah, it was amazing. When you Victor already from 2019, because it was also my roomie from my first professional race. And I think 4 or 5 years later, you win a stage in the Tour de France. So it was amazing to be there, to be his roomie, and to saw how everything happened.
So, Victor, what's the plan here? We're in France. It's 2 laps today. I think you have 46 kilometers. So the pace looks good right now. A nice tempo there, nice and smooth. Everything. Oh, there's an attack or something happening, but everything okay.
Yeah, we keep it as a social ride, a social criterium ride, because Brent and my legs are still hurting from the Tour de France. But I think we have a good group. Looks like everybody is quite keen with the pace, something like 2.5, 3 watts per kilogram. But we have the Petit KOM coming up. And there, of course, we have to unleash the beast for about 4 to 5 minutes.
Well, that's something to look forward to, and we'll give you everyone a heads up out there for sure. So we want to get questions from folks. Interacting is going to be great. This won't be as intense as some of the criteriums that we see. I saw it looks like while we're out here, we're going to have a nice chance to talk, just like you were talking in the breakaway. Watching back on that stage, Victor, what did you and Michael talk about at about 8K to go? It looked like a pretty interesting exchange there. What was going on?
First of all, at that moment in the race, we talked with very little words, just some key words, because there was not too much breath left to communicate with full sentences. But we needed a good collaboration. And I was very, very committed to that stage. And I also knew in the Tour de France, you have a lot of very good riders. There was a 35-guy breakaway with extremely good riders in there. I knew I had to play it smart. And the most important thing of my tactical plan was convince every single rider in the breakaway that I was really much on the limit. And I think I managed very well. And with 8K to go, Kwiato and me, we talked about we will sprint for the victory. And Kwiato was very convinced because he's a very good sprinter. he was very convinced that if it would be a sprint, he will probably win the race. And I tried to convince him that I would be afraid to get caught by the chasing group, which I also managed very well. So he said, let's sprint for it. And don't attack me. Because I'm known as a rider that always tries to search for the opportunity to attack. And he said, if you don't attack, we go out for dinner and the bill's on me. And I said, no, no need. It's an honor for me to sprint against you. I only want, after the race, a picture with my headband. And he thought, okay, that's fine for me. But in the end, I kicked his ass. But he still, out of respect, posted this picture of him on social media with the headband that says Voxnor. My nickname was quite cool.
Well, we're going to have to learn more about your nickname as well. First question coming in. This one I'm interesting because I love Belgium, guys. Absolutely love everything about Belgium. Did you miss the food from Belgium while you were in France? That's our first question coming in from the audience and other riders out there.
Actually, we have an American chef that lives in Spain that knows the whole world universal kitchen. Brent, how do you like Sean's food?
The food is really good, but it's really standard. As a cyclist, we just every day pasta, rice. So I missed the Belgian food. So when I came in Belgium, the first thing I did was to eat French fries.
They call it French fries, but it's actually Belgian fries.
Yeah.
That's a Belgian national product, I think.
Brent, with the mayonnaise or the curry mayonnaise, how do you have your frites?
Of course with mayonnaise and like, how do you say, Victor? Stoofvlees.
Yeah, like a meat sauce, you know.
So,
but it's also typical Belgium, like a meat sauce.
Like a gravy.
Yeah, exactly, something like that.
Yeah,
I think the most important is when you have fries. I know it's maybe not the most healthy, but you need salt on your fries, a lot of salt.
I mean, you earned it, no doubt. So, Brent, your perspective, right? We saw the picture as Nathan, and a big thank you to Nathan Guerra for producing the show here. When we saw that picture, you wouldn't have seen the sprint yet. It was a monster sprint from your friend Victor. He jumped it hard. It wasn't even close. They didn't need a photo finish camera. They used a sundial at that finish line. So tell me what your perspective was the first time that you saw it back in the team bus, I would think. Did you get to see a replay?
No, I saw the replay just before the podium because in the tour it took a while when Victor was on the podium. So we were standing there, I think, for 30 minutes with the whole team. It was a special moment. And then the doc showed us the last kilometer. But I think it was like, nobody knows Victor is really fast. So on the team, he can beat almost everybody except Anodoli, I think, in a 30-second sprint. So we thought he'd go from far, but he didn't. He waited so long, waited for the good moment, and yeah, he kicked the ass from Kwiatkowski, and he did just everything perfect. He waited to let the French guy go, keep waiting, and Kwiatkowski closed the gap, and then he did an amazing sprint.
Did you also know that next to being a high-level professional cyclist, Brent's second job is he is my agent, my manager. He can sell me perfectly, and he has this idea to write a book about me.
Well, or make I think, or maybe Brent, maybe you make a movie about Victor because, I called you the people's champion, but I really do mean it, Victor. And Brent, I want your perspective on this. Very rare. Maybe junior cycling, you might see teammates come and hang around in the crowd for half an hour, especially stage 18 at the Tour. Are you kidding me? You guys are the whole team is out there. You saw other riders on other teams congratulating Victor. He really is one of the nicest guys in the peloton, isn't he? Let's make him embarrassed a little bit here.
Yeah, of course. But like if you have to wait 18 stages for a victory, and the Tour or team couldn't win. Sorry? Or
Go ahead,
couldn't
Brent.
win the last 3 years in the Tour de France. So it was so special to be there as a teammate. I think not only for me, but everybody was waiting there also out of the league. So yeah, it was a really special moment, not only for me, but for the whole team. Just waiting there 40 minutes, I think, in the sun, 30 degrees. But when Victor was on the podium, it was just a
Yeah, it was. I
special
have to say, anyways, it was an emotional victory for me. But then, nobody really told me, but I saw are all my teammates still standing there while the race is finished a long time. I went to look for them. That was quite a special moment. Like you say, it happens rare that a whole team, everybody's tired, but everybody was just waiting there. It was a special moment. We also saw this question coming up about our FTPs. An FTP, first of all, I want to say, we don't race to have high FTP values. We race to push our wheel over the line first. But, of course, this only happens with a good FTP. I think, as a pro rider, to finish the Tour de France, the bottom level of your FTP is about 5.5 watts per kilogram. And I think Brent and me, we are higher. I wouldn't say up to 6 watts per kilogram. Maybe Brent can say he is. I'm not. And for sure not today, because I'm a bit afraid for the Petit KOM coming up.
Hey, Andy. Go ahead, Brent.
I think, like Victor said, mine's FTP is just below the 6 watt per kilograms.
Before I ask Andy's question, guys, I want to ask about this year's tour. They talked about it being the hardest ever. You've been a professional since 2019, Brent. A little bit longer for you. Hardest tour ever, guys?
Sorry, but the 2021 Tour de France, I didn't even manage to finish it. But I think a lot of riders that were there agreed this was the hardest thing ever. What do you think, Brent?
Yeah, I did the tour twice before, so it was my third Tour de France, and I can say this was one of the hardest ones for me.
I guess it comes to...
Can somebody, because it's been a long time that I've been on Zwift, can somebody give the cue how far we're from the bottom of the Petit KOM? I want to, be prepared. Don't slide back, it's like Tour de France. You want to start at the bottom of the climb in the front of the pack, otherwise you get dropped in the first K.
That's our first pro tip from you, Victor, to sag climb, they call it over here in the United States. Start at the front and then just use the group sliding by, but you're still in contact over the top, right? So we're getting ready for that explosion. Victor, I know right now our research team is looking to give that answer. I think it's really, Nathan's going to check, but I think we're about...
Okay. It's about 80, 90
9K. Yeah, exactly. About 9K away. We'll start the explosion.
That's okay. We had also a question from Andy from Germany about hobbies next to cycling. I have one big hobby, and that's our newborn child. You know, every time that I'm not on the bike, that's all I can think about at this moment. And I would say, of course, the next question would be, yeah, but before you became a dad, I had quite a difficult hobby to combine with cycling. Drinking beers with friends, very hard to combine with cycling. So not too often I get to my second, or at this moment my third hobby. But Brent, the night after the Tour de France, we did get to that hobby, right?
Oh. First I was thinking, Victor became a dad, he will not come with me to Nice to have like a hard party, like when we were really young. But he did, and he made it until 7 o'clock in the morning.
I was the man, together with Arnaud Delis, I was the last man standing. Proud of that, but the day after I regret it straight away.
Hey, what is the Belgian beer, guys? What is your Belgian beer of choice when you're into your third hobby?
I think that's one for Brent. He has a fridge. We call it, in Dutch we say heavy beers. He have a fridge at home full of heavy beers. And he knows them all. I just, once my moment is there, I grab what I can get.
Brent's fridge.
For me, like a triple Carmelite. I don't know how many guys know it, but it's a really good Belgian Trappist.
There you go. We'll have to look for that one here, Nathan, over in the States. Gustav, is that the name of your child?
Yeah,
why
I
not
would say
Brent?
your pronunciation is not on point. The pronunciation is like Gustav, but it's quite close. Gustav. I can be pleased with that.
I heard it through the American TV broadcasters. And they also, to be fair, for that final sprint, most people in that moment were expecting exactly what you said, Victor, that you would jump and if it came to a sprint that you'd be in trouble. Your tactics that day were exceptional, weren't they? Is that maybe the best you've ever used your brain in a finale?
Yeah, I'm very, very convinced that this was my tactical master plan of my career, and it needed to happen on that day. That could only, no day that could suit me better. I kept it somewhat quiet in the press, how motivated I was. Even my girlfriend knew this was my stage, but even the night before, she started doubting because I tempered her, her expectations. But Brent knew this will be Campy's day, no doubt about that.
Yeah, but so you're talking about, normally Victor Campenaerts is like the day before, tomorrow I'm gonna attack, I'm gonna win. He's just talking about it, but now he was more shy, like he said to his girlfriend, oh, I don't know, it's a tour, they rode fast. He was not like really convinced. For the first time I saw it.
But I told him about exactly, even we have this Tour de France vlog going on every stage. And if you look back to it, the vlog we recorded the night before that stage, that already gave a lot of cues about what happened in the day after. And I can tell you, in a Tour de France stage, on World Tour level, it is very, very difficult to set up a scenario before the race. This rarely happens.
Do you guys enjoy rooming together? Do you have more fun than other riders because you have a morale or camaraderie that you clearly you two are good friends? Does it help to get through the tour?
Yeah, of course. it's really important to have like a good roomie during the tour, because it's 4 weeks and you have a lot of mentally difficult periods after heavy stages. So then it's really helpful to have like a roomie where you really can laugh with or joke with.
Yeah, for sure. We even have a common song we like. But later, more on that, I see an interesting question coming in about Wout van Aert's
squeals. Yeah.
Double disc wheel setup on the Olympic Games. And Brent texted me yesterday and he said, Campy, tell me something about that double disc wheel setup, because without asking you, I know you've tested that before. And that's true. I've tested it 2022. And for me, there was no way I can handle that. The bike is super fast on a straight road, but once you start cornering, things get complicated. But Wout van Aert is a cyclocross champion. If somebody can handle it, it's Wout. And for sure, it is a lot faster. But when you have a super fast setup, but you crash out in the first corner, it doesn't help you.
Well, let's talk about psychology. Well, I mean, it seems, Victor, like this is...
Repeat, Brent?
About how many watts we are talking?
On a straight road, I would easily say it's close to or more than 10 watts of a difference.
Ooh.
And then, the difficult thing about it is, the more side wind you have, the harder it gets to handle. But the more side wind you have, the bigger the advantage. It's like a sailing ship, actually.
When was the last time, Victor, that you remember seeing anyone use that in a road time trial? That goes back to the 80s, doesn't it?
No, it was used, I think, in the London Olympics by a female.
Okay.
I think a lot of riders think it is prohibited by the UCI, but it isn't.
Would you consider it? I mean, if you were in Paris and racing in the time trial, would you consider it?
Not anymore. The reason why I tested it is because I believe in it. But I tested it and right away I felt my bike skills are not good enough to handle it on an open road parcours. For sure, when I broke the hour record, I was riding double discs, but that's indoors on a track, perfect surface. Of course, there are corners, but they don't feel like corners. And the only way to go is double disc. But outdoors, I tried it, not for me.
For people, Victor, who look at your hour record and then see a Tour de France win and try to compare them, it's almost impossible, isn't it? The hour record, it seems like you do that. What's the English saying would be in a vacuum. Like there's not that many people in the velodrome. It's not the same excitement as a Tour de France stage. The energy, yes, the achievement is massive. I mean, it's monumental as far as what a human being can do. As we are starting to come up, guys, as you can tell on the big effort here. But can you compare those for us, if it's possible, Victor, how big it is to win a Tour de France as someone who has held the hour record?
Yeah, the hour record was special in the way that it was a preparation, a long, let's say, about 4 months of specific preparation for that hour. And I knew with a certainty of 99.9% that I would break it. So every single thing we did was giving satisfaction. Every single thing we did, we knew would lead to that successful hour. Tour de France victory, You only know it will work. You only know you will be successful once you cross the line. So the hour record was 4 months of, let's say, joy. And the Tour de France was an explosion of joy of a few hours after the race. So it was a lot more intense, but on a shorter amount of time. Maybe we can, have a similar thing, or you can compare it with what happens to men at certain point and what happens to women at certain points.
Let's compare pizzas. Was that pizza at the Tour de France the best one you've ever had as you finished?
There was Tour de Titema. Brent, you also had a pizza of Tour de Titema?
Yeah, of course. Every tour I had one, so I always looking forward to finish my Tour de France and to get a pizza.
It's free, right? There. They don't charge you.
No, they don't charge you. And even the night before, I texted to the guys of Tour de Titema for me a pizza mushroom, no meat, because I don't eat meat, no fish. And they said it will be there, and it was there. One downside, they cannot be there with hot pizzas.
Yeah.
It's closer to cold than hot, but yeah, because it's 30 degrees outside, doesn't matter that much. Okay,
guys, the climb.
We are on the climb.
Yeah, here we go. So we won't talk about pizza for a little minute. I'll let you focus in. We do know some honored guests are with us as the guys start to ramp it up. I saw Matt Stevens out riding. I saw you talking with Matt Stevens on Instagram today, actually, Victor. Matt is a great friend of Zwift. I hope you had a nice chat. Did you see him much during the tour? He's actually always there, isn't he?
He's also doing some interviews for Eurosport. He's a funny guy. And we catch up every now and then. Yesterday we had a good chat. Was quite fun.
All right, here's the big effort. I'm going to let you guys, I know it's going to be a little, well, maybe not. You are Tour de France champions. We know that our friend Brent Van Moer here, who was were you in that Dauphiné when he was the leader in the yellow jersey after stage 1 win? Were you there for that one?
I was not there. I was spectating. But the real story comes with 1 week before. He had to win a race, but Brent took the wrong way with 500 meters to go.
He sent me in the wrong way. He sent me.
Not his fault. Yeah, not his fault, he's saying. And well, you know what, Victor? There's another story that's going around the Pro Peloton, because back in 2021, stage 4, there was a good chance that Brent was going to win that stage of Tour de France. Actually, Cavendish ended up winning it. But there's some people said you were on the front. You weren't on the same team at the time, but you were on the front when the chase activated and helped pull him back and make that catch. Is there any truth to that rumor?
Yeah. I cannot say I was not on the front, but I can say it was
pictures.
It was only for a few seconds. Because, we all have this communication, these radios. When Brent is out there, all the directeurs sportifs, they go crazy. And they say, pull him back. This is the danger. So yeah, that's what happened. With pain in the heart, I did a 2-second pull.
He was Brent. We're obviously joking, but those moments only mean that your day will come, right? I can't imagine that there's anybody who wants to see you win a Tour de France stage. Maybe your family and Victor more than anyone.
Brent, say it again. I'm suffering too much. I lost it.
I hope my day will come, but it don't get easier every year, because that year was a big chance, because my sprinter Calafune crashed, and normally I had the route in front of my sprinter. So hopefully one day I can get my chance. But
that's what they say. Once dead is another is chance.
Another thing that they say, Brent, is you can oftentimes, if you want to evaluate who you are, look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. And Victor is one of them. So that has to help on your chances. Do you learn things from him still that maybe will make you an even greater champion when you're around a champion?
Come on, Brent, this is the moment you have to make me shine. This is what I've been waiting for. I especially queued that question.
Come on.
That's the reason why you took me in this ride, to talk about this. No, yeah, of course. I'm not the only one that learned from Victor. The whole team did. Yeah, I can tell stories about Victor doing stuff 3 or 4 years ago that no professional teams started to do now. So, yeah, I can say that I learned a lot of things of Victor Campenaerts.
Well, even Superman, Brent, has his kryptonite, right? So what is the kryptonite for Victor? Is it like a food, maybe, if you left mushroom pizzas laying around all over the place? We're going to back it off, guys, before I let you answer the pizza question. We're going to go back to 2 watts per kilo for everybody. So we're going to go into a chill zone a little bit now. Good effort, though, guys. What is his kryptonite? Nutella, maybe?
From Victor?
Yeah.
Veggies.
I'm a pure professional. I never cheat.
No weak points, huh?
I have plenty.
Brent, are you? We heard that you're going to be going on vacation right after. So the tour ends. We appreciate you being on our Zwift Loves Tour de France. So, but where will you be going for your break? I hope you have a chance to really relax.
In an hour I leave with my girlfriend to Italy, to Guerra. I don't know how you say it in English, but it's a lake in the north of Italy.
What about you, Victor? I know being a father now that you talked a lot about that. It's a beautiful story. So does that mean no vacations for you for a while as your new family gets settled in your new life?
Actually, this accords really well to a question we had. The duality of, you prepare so well for the Tour de France. It's a big goal. You get there in a super good shape. You take care of your body very well. And then you come home. What you need for the head is to relax. But even at the same moment, you're in the best shape of your life, maybe. So how much of recovery you want to take, it's quite difficult. I think for me, the main thing for sure, this Tour de France, because I just became a dad, I looked forward so much to get home. And, I was looking forward a lot to see my girlfriend, but we are used to not seeing each other for longer times. But seeing my boy, he was born, and doing the Tour de France was more days than the age he was when I left. That was quite difficult, so I looked forward a lot to that. And then, when you come home, you are very happy that you don't have to touch your bike for a few days, and that you can eat, like Brent said, you come home, first thing you do is eat Belgian fries or French fries. Just enjoy bad food. That's maybe not the best thing you can do but you need that mental relaxation. And actually, I don't know for you, Brent, but this criterium, the timing is perfect for me because it's a short ride. Maybe we push a bit harder than we expected, but tomorrow I do a 4-hour ride and I'm started again to prepare a bit for, I'm doing the Vuelta, like the Tour of Spain, that's again 3 weeks. And Brent is doing heaps of Belgian races. So of course we wanna don't waste the shape we build it up, but we need something to relax.
Did you guys have the Netflix documentary crew with your team throughout the race? Did that impact your experience?
No, that's a shame because we have the best stories in the team. What do you think, Brent?
Yeah, I see. I think
maybe we can't talk too much about that, but if Netflix would have been in our team, I don't think it would have been a good idea because we don't know if, Netflix can handle that much views. It would explode.
Yeah.
So we
try to take it a bit easy. Wait, I drop a message again.
So this is Brent, actually, that we're looking at on screen. Brent's making some big watts trying to get back up into the group. Victor's going to slow everybody down.
So it's like Brent we're waiting for. That's why
Let me ask you guys that. So you two must train together a bit. Which one of you would be more likely to be late to meet up for the ride, for the training ride?
Not
you,
yeah. But we have this one rider in the team, Cedric Beulens. You can't be late because he's always the latest, He
saves Brent.
No, it's like he said in the team, we have always one guy that is too late, and that's the Cedric Beulens.
I think sorry to interrupt you, Brent. Nathan, can you quickly check if there are big groups behind that are trying to chase us back? Do we wait for them? Or we gently continue in this nice group we have? I don't want to be left alone, that's why.
The director is going to take a look and see what it looks like out there, make an assessment, and we'll let you know here. So while they're doing that, Victor, question came in about the watts. I'm going to even ask specifically the stage that you won. That was a long day and a hard day.
So the question was how much watts did I push? And that was not incredible. My mean maximal power was 1,250. The sprint was a short sprint, like Brent explained already, only 10 seconds, where I averaged 1,150. That's not crazy numbers, but stage 18, very hot stage, long and hard stage. That's enough to blast away at that moment my two breakaway companions.
Were you surprised that it wasn't closer, to tell you the truth? I mean, that was a good size gap that you had at the line. Like you said, it wasn't a long run into the line. Once you sprinted, it was over. It was like watching a animal make a kill.
It's like you don't know how good your opponents are until they start their sprint. And once I started sprinting, in the side of your eye, you see straight away they had always the feeling this guy is about to drop from this group. And then I come from the back with a lot of speed. And this was, I think, just like a mental, already the mental hammer. I put it down before they even had to sprint. I think before they started sprinting, they know they lost.
It was over, yeah.
But yes, I was surprised that it was such a big gap in the end.
Matteo, the Total Energies rider, how well did you know him and his sprint? Did the team help you understand what his abilities were?
Yeah, I didn't know him at all. We looked him up, and the team said he's not slow, but we could feel he was not the engine of the breakaway, and that gave me some confidence. We also have some more questions coming in on YouTube about indoor and outdoor efforts. Like doing indoor efforts on the, on Zwift, on the trainer. I think it's a very good workout, but it's way, way harder. 5 minutes, 400 watts. I would suffer a lot doing that indoors. 5 minutes, 400 watts outdoors, uphill. That's more or less an okay effort. What do you think, Brent? Indoor or outdoor efforts?
Of course, outdoor. It's more easy to stand on your pedals, to move your bike a little bit. But when you do indoor, it's more, what do you say, efficient.
Yeah, it's indoors is so challenging. One, like not this winter, but the winter beforehand, I prepared during whole December. I only was on Zwift. All the guys of the team, they called me crazy. I only was on Zwift, doing all my efforts on Zwift. I even organized a Voxner racing series. But I came on this January training camp, and the guys were quite surprised with my shape, but maybe it was the best shape of that season, because I never, afterwards the classics were coming up, but my Zwift shape, it disappeared like snow in front of sun.
What is Voxnor all about? Where did that start? Can you give us an explanation, Victor?
My name is Victor. When you swap the I and the O, it's Voktir. And then I let a mustache growing. I should have shaved better, that my mustache was better visible for this criterium ride. But like a mustache is a snor in Dutch. So they changed from Victor to Voktir, and from Voktir to Voxnor, which is actually Vok mustache.
And is it a brand? Like, can I buy merch and that kind of thing?
You can buy merch, but at this moment,
it's sold out, right? Because of the tour stage sold out the merch, I would think.
Yeah, we also started up some other merch, and it's called Hold the Wheel, Dickhead.
How's that selling? Pretty good, I bet.
That's selling pretty good. Brent, tell the story about Hold the Wheel, Dickhead.
You hand that to the guy in front of you in the peloton, right?
Yeah, we were in the gravel stage, and we were at, I think, the second gravel sector. And yeah, we had to walk upstairs, so there were big gaps. And yeah, we were in a gruppetto, but there were some GC guys, and all the teammates are chasing us back. But like one guy was a little bit angry on Voxner because he don't want to pull with the guys, and he came on like a small kicker, and my GC guys attacked himself, and was the teammates that pulled already whole day, they dropped. But then they shouted, Victor shouted, "Hold the wheel, dickhead!" Yeah.
It was at that moment it was nasty, but we could laugh all with it afterwards. But when we were doing the mountain stages, fair enough, we can say Brent more than me, but we are not the guys fighting for stage victories. in the real mountain stages. And we are in the gruppetto often. And people shout, a lot of people shouted actually, "Hold the wheel, dickhead," when they saw us. I don't know if that was the best motivation, but we made sure we holded the wheel.
I bet we hear more and more of that as tours go on. This will be interesting to watch. Hey, this is one that, so kind of getting away from that, guys, into technical stuff that you're so good with, Victor. It's truly awesome to get inside your mind a little bit. So you emptied your water bottle, but you didn't throw it away, thinking being for aerodynamic advantage of having that bottle helps make it the bike a little slipperier. Is that true?
Andy, that's a good question that I actually always tell my teammates, but I have the feeling they don't believe me. But always.
You believe him, Brent? Brent, do you believe it?
Not really, not really.
So it's also, they might believe me, but then still they come in the final and they think, no, I need the lightest possible bike. And this bottle is still 40 grams. And it's true, you want the lightest possible bike, but aero nearly almost always beats weight. And a bike without bottles is a lot more aero, but a bike with an empty bottle cage, that's very bad. If there's a bottle cage on your bike, you want it to be filled the whole time. So that's why, I empty the bottles to have a light bike, which is important for an acceleration. But I want 2 bottles to have the most aero setup.
I believe you. I definitely believe you. So,
but then when you're in the heat of the moment, in the final of a race,
you just chuck it.
Your brain is like, a teppanyaki? So teppanyaki, a very hot plate where I think it's like an Asian way of cooking, and they make fish on it and stuff like that. But it's very hot. And if you're in the final of a race, it's like your brain has been on the teppanyaki for, let's say, 5 hours. So sometimes it's quite hard to think. And then when you think about, Voxner told me this, then you think, probably, I can imagine those riders think, I don't care about what Voxner says. I just need a light bike. Fuck you, Voxner. Or we might just get banned from YouTube now.
So did you think before the Tour de France started, guys, that Cavendish would get the 35th win? Were you surprised to see him get that win, knowing how hard it was going to be?
For me, I was really, I wanted him to, but no way I thought he would. He also was on the same place on altitude camp, not as long as we were, but he suffered a lot there. Brent, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, if you saw the first scenes also in Italy, he was dropped always as the first guy of the peloton.
First stage in the Tour de France, he was already vomiting to stay in the gruppetto.
On the first climb. Yeah. Didn't look good.
And there, I think everybody thought it's impossible to take a stage victory. So that makes it more special for me that he still do it.
Yeah, there's this question coming up. Who has more aero knowledge, you or Alex Dowsett? That's quite funny, Alex is not a pro anymore, but we respect each other a lot as riders. And I consulted him halfway during the Tour de France with some questions about aero, which, of course, I cannot discuss live on YouTube. But it's hard to say who knows more. But I'm tempted to say Alex, he has done more testing with aerodynamics, and I'm very, very pleased that he's willing to help me.
What do you think for the Olympics starting here, guys? three names: Ghana, Remco, and Josh Tarling. Those are maybe. Who do you think? Who's your favorite for the gold medal?
Brent, you can go first.
Yeah, I just read an article that Remco said he is tired from the tour, but I don't know.
He's playing the same game I did in the Tour de France.
I don't know what game he's playing, but for me, Joshua Tarling, it's not a really hard parkour, so for me, he is a favorite.
You know,
You say Remco.
No, Brent says Tarling. I
Tarling,
go with Remco.
okay.
I go with Remco.
Okay,
you know,
good.
Brent, we're from Belgium. Support the Belgians.
Heads up, Brent.
I'll be shouting for Remco, but actually, all three of them are very nice guys. I think Ghana and Tarling, they had the specific preparation. And I still believe if you want to do the perfect time trial, specific preparation always beats racing as a preparation.
Well, then, if that's the case, then I don't know how much you follow the women's peloton, but Chloe Dygert would have to win the gold medal, going by what you say.
Yes, but what I just said, and still, I would pick Remco. In a way, sports is we want to approach it as an exact science, but it isn't at all. I can tell you the biggest reason why I had diamonds in my legs at stage 18 was not because I trained 37 hours a week, but it was because I had so much joy because I became a dad. And there's not any scientific research what becoming a dad does with your shape.
Hey, Brent, sounds like you might need to have a kid by next year.
He's working on it. Getting married in November.
Man, we need that. Yeah, we got to get that win, Brent. Come on. So
I try to tell the story. I try to tell the story every day to my girlfriend now.
Okay. So, guys, I always think it's interesting to know about you, not just as the athletes. Brent, for you first, if you are unable to race as a professional, what job would you most like to do in the real world if you could choose? I'll even let you go back to school if you need to do it. But what would you like to do if you can't be a professional bike racer? What would fit your life?
My parents have a logistic company, and it was my dream from when I was a child to be part of that company. But then my hobby cycling, how do you say, exploded a little bit to something else. So that's my normally the job I'm gonna do after my career.
It sounds like you can keep that dream alive then after you're done racing.
That's true.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
But
what
the
about
crazy
you?
thing with Brent is when you call him, after a race, like now after the Tour de France, now he's on the trainer doing this Criterium ride. But there's a big chance when I would call him in the afternoon that he's just working, helping out on the company of his parents. And I'm like, Brent, take some rest. And he says, this is the mental rest for me. He just enjoys that. And I think, you need to do, like we are professional cyclists. And the reason why we love it so much is because it's our passion. If you work with a passion, it's not working anymore. It's your hobby. And if you get paid for your hobby, it's like you completed the game, I think.
Yeah, that's well said. You know, guys, so many people around the world look at Belgium as the epicenter of cycling or the most passionate nation for cycling. And I think that's true myself. Why? Why is Belgium so much? I mean, a lot of the factors, Belgium's not that different than Netherlands or France or Germany or other northern. Why does Belgium have such a love for cycling, guys?
I think because we have the most shitty roads to ride your bike on. And for some reason, people love that. Where I live, you have really terrible roads, like the Quaremont, Koppenberg, Paterberg. People from the USA come over here to experience those climbs. I live right next to them. I never do them on training, except when I'm reconning races on those climbs, because the races on those roads are spectacular. There are crashes, there are mechanicals. It's real exciting racing, but man, it's terrible to ride those things. And also, we are very, very pleased that we have, you know, the fastest Orbea bike with, you know, the best and most likely also the most expensive setup you can imagine. But we don't have to pay it ourselves. But when you have to pay for it yourself, it's so strange to see that people want to ride these roads because it
that
just wrecks
equipment.
your bike.
Yeah. Well, that's a very, very good point. When is the last time for both of you, Brent, you first, that you had to take out your wallet and pay for something in a bike shop, like inner tube, or well, you don't use tubes, do you? But things that normal people have to buy. Well, when's the last time you walked in a bike shop and bought something, anything?
I think this winter, like some ice savers during the rainy days. I think that's one of my last things I bought in a bicycle shop.
Fair play. An ass saver. That makes sense. Well, money well spent, I would say. What about you,
bike
Victor?
shop around the corner, and they always, you know, they're like too shy to ask money. But
Right.
I always insist, like, make me an invoice every 6 months, because I go there a lot and I take a lot of stuff.
You want to pay. Yeah, you want to pay and support them.
Because, you know, those people that work there, they are so passionate about working on bikes, and they work so well on my bike, and they also have to pay bills. So it's just
Do you ever bring them stuff? Like, do you ever bring them gifts from the races, like a jersey or that kind of thing? I bet it would mean a lot to those guys.
I bought, to the shop I go often, I bought twice a nice gift. I don't know if you know the Silca equipment.
Yeah.
They have high-end tools to work on bikes.
Victor, I have a €300 Silca pump sitting next to me right here. So
I have a €450 Silca pump sitting next to me. I'm a big Silca fan.
You're a big swinger, man.
But I know Joshua Porter quite well, and then sometimes I ask him to personalize stuff for the mechanics, and they are really grateful when I give them a present like that. And then when I come in the shop, I see they're not using the tools because they don't want to get them dirty. I also
Joshua Porter is the American.
Yeah. I also saw this question about being heavier. Is it a benefit for a flat time trial? But I don't think so at all. It can be hard when it's like super, super flat. You can get close, but still, always what you would need is a flying start. But added weight will also give you a big disadvantage to go from 0 to, I don't know what, 50k an hour. What's that? 30 miles an hour, something like that.
Yeah.
The weight with an acceleration is so important. Every time trial has some corners. So aero is the most important, but in Dutch we always say, fat is not pedaling. Fat is not pushing the pedals. So unfortunately, I cannot say gain some fat to be faster on flat time trials.
That's too bad. That breaks a lot of hearts, I think. So, all right.
Mine too.
Yeah. This one is coming from our man, Nathan. So Nathan was looking at your Zwift profile here, Victor, and he sees that you have a Tron bike. So no one has a Tron bike.
I'm proud of my Tron bike. I
would
proud of my
imagine.
Tron bike.
When did you get it? And tell us about that.
Yeah, I have it quite a long time already. I think I have it since the lockdown. In the lockdown, I've been, although we were allowed to ride outside in Belgium, and the weather was really good, but still I was a lot on Zwift, to do races on Zwift. I enjoyed that a lot. And I managed to get that Tron bike. I'm also level 54, if you're wondering. Okay, I'm not a pro Zwifter, but level 54. You know, you do have to do some miles on Zwift. Even at some point, I don't know if I get banned from Zwift for this, but I was cheating a little bit. So I was running Zwift on my phone, connecting to my power meter from my road bike, doing 6-hour outdoor rides with my phone in my back pocket. So I did.
That's actually fine. You can Zwift on your real bike if you want.
Yeah.
So a little bit weird, Victor, I'm going to say, but that's okay. You're fine.
Yeah, I did the mile. I did the effort, but
you did.
I was not an indoor trainer.
Hey, Brent, I think that if we wanted to know who Victor is, that might explain it. He Zwifts outside. Right? That's how much this guy loves racing bikes.
Yeah, Victor, it's just a guy that just thinking about his career, just thinking about bike racing, just thinking about how can I get faster, how can I get a victory in the Tour de France. He's always thinking like this.
What do you think, guys? Could we talk you into racing on Zwift, doing esports racing even after your careers end, just for some fun? There's thousands of people that do. Can we get you out there, Victor and Brent?
Hey, do your homework. I'm a double participant in the World Esports Championships.
Well, so how about after you're done racing, will you stay on Zwift? That's what we'd love to see.
I think so, yes, because it's like my girlfriend is right here next to me, and she's here riding the bike with the baby next to us. So if you go outside, you need to find a babysitter. If you ride indoors, also 1 hour, like we talked about it before, indoor riding is a lot harder. If you do a 1 hour ride on Zwift with some intervals, you can do a very good workout. When you ride 1 hour outside, quite difficult to do a hard or a good workout.
It's great to hear she's on Zwift. Did you meet her through cycling or outside of cycling?
Outside of cycling, but I didn't know, but she was riding the bike, and the first date we did was a bike ride.
That's not. That's certainly, you want to show her you at your best, right? That's a good way to do that. So, hey, I had a few more questions coming in, guys, that I think you might enjoy here.
Hey,
first one was about.
Sorry, I want to interrupt. I see
training.
a question. Tegenberg or Labonnet? No way. You can see La Bonnette as something to enjoy. Fuck, it was so hard, but maybe a good question to ask the technical staff of Zwift. We think the epic KOM in Watopia is based on La Bonnette.
Oh, we will check on that for you.
Let's put it in the fridge. I want an answer to that at one point.
Yeah, we will have
go
to
ahead
find out.
with
Nathan
the other
might be able to...
questions.
Okay, well, we'll work on that one for you guys. So now you're asking us questions, Victor. So this is the criterium is now becoming even more intense. How's the riding going out here right now? It looks like we've been able to get Brent back up into a good group here.
We're just together, I think. Same group.
Good. That's what we're hoping for, guys. We're getting close to the finale here. Brent, your bags are packed, I hope. Are you going to go straight to the Brussels airport?
No, my bags are packed already. My girlfriend is finishing it.
Perfect. Well, thank you again, guys, while we have some time here. Again, few K to go. But, Brent, we really appreciate you joining us and can't wait to watch how things go. What's the next race that you have after your break?
I think it will be Tour of Leuven, a race in Belgium that Victor won 2 years ago, I think. So, a nice race on the roads of the World Championship in Leuven.
Yeah, we did a great Zwift activation at that World Championships right there near the finish line. That Leuven is an incredible place to visit. How about you, Victor? When do you see yourself back on a start line?
The Vuelta. It started with a flattish time, girl. I think I have a shot at the leader jersey, only after 1 day for sure. I heard Tarlin is going there. It will be very, very, very hard to beat Joshua Tarlin, but we'll see where we get.
How much would it mean, Victor? You already have the tour stage. And actually, we were talking about the incredible group that you're in as the only man outside of Eddie Merckx to have won a tour stage, a Giro stage, and hold the hour record. How much would adding that Vuelta stage win mean to you? I know it's got to mean something, but is that a target, maybe a bigger target for the rest of your career to get a Vuelta win?
Yeah, I have to say for sure that I will never say I'm a bad bike rider, but I'm not Evenepoel, Pogacar, Van der Poel. I'm not even close to one of those riders. I'm always happy to make the Tour de France selection, but now it becomes like a realistic goal to be part of like this gold member club with riders that won in the 3 Grand Tours. Let's see how realistic this really is. For sure, I'm trying. And then next to that, we have Van Eetvelde, a neo-professional, and we truly believe he can do like a top 10 result in GC, which would be amazing for Lotto. And then there are also some technical questions about heat training and altitude training. Of course,
let's jump in on that.
That's very interesting, and that's for sure the heat training. It's something new, not too new. Brent can tell stories about that, but what's the most important is trying to get a better shape. You have to work hard, but only adding stress to your body will most likely only fatigue you. And you want to get faster, not super fatigued. So be smart. When in altitude, you can combine altitude and heat, but it will only work when you do less hours, less work on the bike. So be smart, have a good coach that can really track you. And I often see riders that did too much training. I rarely see riders that did too little training. And then all these questions popping in about carbon monoxide, rebreathing. My advice is stay away from this. There is scientific proof that this would, be good to simulate altitude, but don't forget, breathing too much carbon monoxide might get you killed. It's a toxic gas, and believe me on my word, it won't take long before they will ban it. Not because it will really, not because it's really beneficial, but it just doesn't stroke at all with sports ethics.
Yeah. Do you guys have a favorite German pro?
Me, yes. What about you, Brent?
German pro, Nils Pollitt. Hats
man,
off
that's
what
the
he did
easy
in
one.
off what he did in the tour this year.
Is that your favorite? You heard it so much. But my favorite is for sure Max Walscheid. I was teammates with him. Actually, the stage, I nearly pulled Brent back of his Tour de France stage victory. I was working for Max Walscheid. But, we've done a lot of racing together, Max and me. And he played a very, very big part in my Giro victory. Was quite special.
Well, let me ask you this then. Do you have a favorite American bike racer?
Ooh, Americans.
Oh.
Now you're making... I think... Hey,
No
Brent,
comment.
Sean Quinn. How strong was Sean Quinn in the Tour de France?
Guy's a monster.
What he did was, to me, it was about strange that he didn't want to stage. What do you think, Brent?
What do you think, Brent?
Yeah, it was amazing. And it was also in what stage it was?
The Tourmalet stage, or?
Yeah, the Tourmalet stage. he flicked Campi's day.
I was in a break over the Tourmalet, but I didn't follow so long on the Tourmalet because Sean Quinn, he was just, I think after the race, they needed to change his crankset because for sure the cranks were out of line because he hammered too much on the pedals.
You won the most combative overall award, going back to the previous tour. How much did that one mean to you, Victor? It's who you are, that type of racer. So they really got it right that year.
For sure, but all those attacks were with one goal, trying to win a race. I was very proud to be on the podium of the Champs-Élysées. Don't understand me wrong, but still I see it as, it's like a prize to, I don't know how to say it in English, but to cheer you up. You tried so hard, so we also give you a prize. Winning a stage is different. Winning a stage, you're the true champion. That day, it's your day. And when, wow, that's too long story to tell. That's for another Criterium ride with only 1K from the finish. And don't forget, Brent Van Moer is going to Italy. Do you take your bike, Brent?
Of course.
To watch the bike.
On Monday, my training starts again. So,
how many days are you on vacation for? How many days in Italy, Brent?
I'm there until next Saturday.
Great. Well, gentlemen, you really are the gladiators of sport. There is no question. We love what you do. At Zwift, we love the Tour de France. And you, Victor, were one of the really special days for all of us. So I know that for a lot of my friends at Zwift, you're what it's all about. this kind of spirit. You bring it all together. And Brent, we are big fans of yours. Really looking forward to you getting on top of that podium at the Tour de France as well in your career. So, guys, we're going to wrap things up as we say thank you and good luck with everything going forward. Victor, you truly are the champion standard. Victor Campenaerts, Brent Van Moer, gentlemen, thank you very, very much for your time and continued good luck out there, guys. Andiamo, gentlemen.
Thanks, everybody. Peace.
Thanks, guys, for having us.
Enjoy today. Maybe some people enjoy the night that's coming up. We're going to take it easy. Training is almost starting again, but we enjoy the last moment. And I have to say, I'm happy we made it to the finish. 1 hour 15. Good way to restart riding the bike after the Tour de France. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Victor, and thank you, Brent. For Nathan Guerra, I'm Dave Toll, and everyone at Zwift, ride on.